Oh man, she's allowed to cut on the Tesla.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. All right.
What's up guys, this is G with Tesbros, and today we are going to be doing something interesting. And we have Sophia here. She doesn't do, PPF installation on a daily basis other than helping a little bit out on the R&D side. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be doing it two different methods. The first way is going to be bulk, and it's literally grabbing like a giant piece of vinyl, not cut at all. It's just raw, straight from the roll. And then the other way is going to be using our custom kit that we've been designing for really the past 2 years. So let's get started. So for today, we're actually going to be wrapping the fender. And we're not going to be removing the whole bumper, the headlights, or anything like that. Sometimes I do, especially for color wraps, but just to kind of show you the stretch points and all that, we're not going to do that. However, we do need to remove that if we are going to be doing bulk. And once we remove this, we're actually going to get this giant panel, and I'll help you like lift it up because it's really, really hard to do this by yourself because it's giant, right? So just having someone peel with you will help. And then we're going to lay it down, and I'll kind of coach you where we're going to be tacking. We're going to squeegee it. Honestly, that's the most fun part. Okay. And then after that, we're going to try to cut it. So that's going to be say goodbye to my little Sammy over here. It's going to get a lot of knife marks. Oh, no. No, but we're going to try to avoid that. Cool. So let's go ahead and swap. So Sophia, there's actually 3 clips here. You're going to push it down, straight down to this area, okay? And wait for the sound.
Okay.
Okay, so try that out. Straight down, remember. So that's good like angle. That? Yep, there. And the other one?
Okay. I don't like this.
Just straight down. So grab it.
All right.
And there, again, there's 2 clips on the side, so you're gonna kind of lift it up and then remove it out. It's hard with those nails. All right, so there's 2 clips, and these are pretty simple. You push that down, and then you see that clip, you push that down, and you just pull. Okay. And typically what I'll do is I'll wrap it with my green tape so that it doesn't get wet and stuff, and then I kind of set it aside inside over there. I have some waterless over here. Let's clean the surrounding area, so you could tuck that in. Okay. We'll be able to get it out later, so that's okay. Awesome. And lastly, we have alcohol over here, and we're going to do the same thing and just a one spray and then wipe it down with alcohol. And alcohol, what it does is it takes out the decontamination, and you're pretty much cleaning it. If you don't decontaminate it, it's going to have a lot more difficult time adhering. So the prep part, I would say, is probably one of the most important areas, right? Let's go inside and let's put the wheels back. Okay. I'll move this real quick. And the reason why is we're going to have a giant sheet, and if that's sticking out, it's going to be difficult. So let's go ahead and do that. And, yep, that's good. Is putting this cover. And typically I have this on a lift of the car if I'm working on it. But since I don't, I'll just kind of like lay it down like this. And what this is tires are incredibly dirty. It's probably the dirtiest areas. So let's say like you put the film and you have a bulk and you have a lot overhang, then it's gonna capture all of that dust. One thing that I forgot to mention is, this is my car, so I've taken that out so many times, and that's why it came out a lot easier. Oh, okay. So just a warning on the video, you're gonna be like, it doesn't come out like that. But what I would have done is if I knew that didn't come out, I always put tape all around it. So when you're hitting that areas, you're gonna be protecting the surrounding areas and you're not scratching anything. So we're gonna go ahead and unravel that. Okay. And while she is unraveling that, I'm gonna grab some stuff. Yep.
Is it like this?
No, this way.
Okay.
Oh wait, is this? Oh wait, yeah, it's the other way, sorry. Okay. I thought it was like. So I'm just gonna make sure I got enough coverage right here. Okay. Right there, and then good. Okay. And the next step is to cut the excess material. So you can see that you want a lot of material here, so don't get too close. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is, you can cut, but just be careful that there's a tire here. But cut right here, and then we're going to give it about, I would say, 3 inches. Okay. And then go ahead and cut here, and then cut all the way through here. Okay. Okay.
There. Cool. Nothing to be worried about.
Woo! Heart attack. reason why we're like just dousing this area with slip, all right, so the blue is slip, the red is always gonna be tack. And slip does several things. The first thing is it allows the material to move. So you can see that underneath there's slip, so it's moving. The other thing is if there's not enough moisture, this gets ridiculously sticky. And lastly, you put it on top of it so that you can grab a squeegee like this and you can glide across it, right? Tack, on the other hand, the way tack works is you're essentially flushing out the slip solution. And then this one has slight alcohol content, 7% iso alcohol. And what it does is it flushes it out, and that alcohol actually makes it adhere more aggressively. To hit this body lines properly, we have to tack certain points so that we can stretch it a certain way and evenly so that it lasts long and it also looks good on the body lines. And there's no what we call fingers, and fingers are like this. That's a finger, right? That's what we call it in the PPF industry. But the first step is going to be, you're going to be doing that shimmy shimmy where you kind of move everything around, making sure all the fender area is actually moving, okay? So once that's good, Sophia, we're gonna do a couple tack points, right? The first tack point is going to be bottom here, so we're gonna tack it. And the reason why when you're doing bulk is you don't tack on the actual area that you're gonna be doing, you're gonna tack it at another panel. And the reason why we do that is if you tack a lot, sometimes you can get either lift lines or aggressive lines from the tack points. We're gonna stretch this from here. Remember, we're gonna do the palm stretch and all the way through. And we're gonna stretch it until no fingers exist right here. You're gonna stretch it outwards this way, and then we're gonna tack it to that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you see this? We're gonna get rid of all of that. And that's how much you wanna stretch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then you wanna stretch a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
That's a lot of stretch.
Yeah. So that's really how you do the 4-point tack, right? And we've tacked here, up here as well, down there, and then you're kind of stretching it all across. So now, the fun part is we're gonna squeegee it. You're gonna focus on that bottom line and go all the way out. And then honestly, you just get the water out underneath, and then so pretty much down here, and then just get it out, and then all the way to the bottom. And you could go down because there's no tack points anywhere else but on the other panels. You see how I'm just letting the blade do the work?
Yep.
I'm also not touching the car at all. Okay? So try that. Now that you have this, it's easier to kind of like pull it out like that. This is her first time knifing on a car.
I'm nervous.
No pressure. So there's this, feel that tension right there? And here, and then here. So it's 1, 2, 3. when you're tacking stuff, one of the things happens is moisture, and wants to come back. So one technique is to just kind of use a microfiber like this, and instantly it just went down.
Yeah, wow.
Right? And this is your first cut, so it's okay. But no one will see that. But it's wrapped all the way inside.
Just don't look at that.
You won't see a line over here, and that's kind of how you get the relief cut in there. All right, so now that we have this, I'm gonna let you kind of finish it up, right? So you have, knowledge here. So the next step for this is you're gonna have to blade it or cut it. And that's gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be nervous. So there's several ways to do this. And I think this is one of the common questions that people ask is like, oh, can you wrap over every single edge? And typically, honestly, I do more of a hybrid approach when I do it for shops. So I have a Fender design actually that goes all the way. So I do wrap here. I actually don't wrap here and I cut to the edge. So you either go all the way inside and fully wrap it, or you go a little bit inside the edge. And what that does is ensures that it doesn't actually lift up. The number one thing that you want to watch out for is get a brand new blade, right? Whenever you go up and down like that, it's actually dulling the blade. So you don't want to keep doing that. There's people like habitually they do up and down, and every time you do that, this area is dirty, so that barrel. So you want to clean that. And then after that, you get a cutter, which is the end. You have a clean blade, just like that. And the way I hold my blade is I kind of have a limp hand when I'm doing cutting because I don't want to put a lot of force to it. So just to give you an idea, let me cut this edge right here. And also, we let this dry for about, an hour or so, right? Because if you have this all wet right here, it's going to be hard because it's going to keep moving on you, right? So you want a dry edge whenever you're cutting. So when I'm cutting, what I do is I kind of rest my thumb right here, and I'm going to go inside. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. And for this, you actually don't want it like sharp. I want a rounded edge. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to start right here, and you're just going to So did you guys hear that? I don't know if you heard that. That I don't know. I can't do that sound. But that squeak is exactly what you want. And we're just letting all the knife do the work. And we're just literally gliding our hand and guiding it and scoring the film. So we're not going over. We're not cutting through. We're actually just scoring the film. And once you score it, this is what it's going to be. You kind of pull like that. And once you pull, you cut through. And that's what you're doing. What we'll do is we'll double it up so we can get some practice first.
Okay.
Okay. How hard are you pushing?
I don't know. Pretty light.
Okay.
Why? Is it too hard?
We'll see.
Should I try pushing a little?
So it shouldn't cut like immediately. Go a little bit lighter.
Okay.
And try this area. And try to keep it straight because you're kind of going off an angle like that. Go straight down.
Oh, like straight down?
Yeah. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it works. So you see how I had to kind of pull that? That's what you want. Oh man, she's allowed to cut on the Tesla.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. All right. We can't even tell if it's gonna be even over now. Oh, okay. This is so much. Okay.
that sound right there. Yep. Oh, try not to stop it. That's it right there. And stop. Okay, now the test. You're gonna lift this up. Pull, yep. Pull away from it. And stop. Not bad. So the real test is we know if you cut it when we remove the film. But it looks good. I can see like right here it got a little bit wavy here.
Yep.
But then you kind of got more confidence down here, and then you got better here. So you want to go again, or you want to do something else?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
That's enough anxiety for one day.
Yeah, I know that part took a really, really long time because it just takes a long time. And I don't know if you noticed too, when you're putting out water in this area, because you have so much more materials, it kind of keeps wanting to come back up and stuff. Whereas template, it's cut.
Yeah.
Right, like the one we're going to be working on next, and it makes it easier because you have a lot more access area or exit area for slip to go out of there, right? We're going to actually change camera, and we're going to go to the bench over there, and we're going to look at our kit that we've created and that we've designed ourselves, and then we're going to install this and see how it looks, and we'll talk about how it works, and then you've done it once or twice before, so you'll be installing it. We've made it into 3-piece. And the reason why is when you watch us bulk it, there were 2 areas that was causing it to create fingers, right? It was that one big body line that kind of split like that. And then also that wheel well had a split like this that caused a lot of fingers. These design kits, when we designed it without going into too much detail, was designed literally for people who have absolutely no experience, but we're gonna wet the top, and then we're gonna start from the top all the way to the bottom, and then install the whole thing. And for this, the tack point is out there in the middle of this headlight area, right? The middle right here, and then obviously the place where the fender meets the bumper, the front bumper. That essentially had 0 stretch. All you had to do was align it. And because there's that big curve right here, this is gonna lay flat, and then this is also gonna lay flat. So this is a 3-piece that I was talking about. We also put this autopilot back because there's gonna be a cutout around it. And the design was made so that it doesn't sit in the valley. Some of the templates that I found is that it's too in, and the dirt kind of just sits there, right? So we kind of made it a little bit bigger on purpose. And then she's gonna grab the other piece, and she's gonna, what we call butt seam. And you're gonna put 2 pieces against each other. And if it's seamed correctly, honestly, it's gonna be very, very difficult to see unless it's up close, the line. And what we try to do is trying to put the seam on those lines, because that makes it easier to hide those seams. And that took you probably like 4 or 5 minutes to do, right? All right, so we're gonna grab the last piece and it's gonna go right to the edge. And the way we designed this too, is this actually goes slightly over the edge because it'll be a lot more difficult to seam it when you're actually trying to seam it right at the apex of the curve. And we're gonna go ahead and spray.
Hair.
Oh, she got a hair.
It's not my hair though. It's a short black hair.
Yeah. That's not mine. Honestly, that was really, really good. I'm not just saying that because you work here, but for someone who really haven't done any like PPF, you've never done a full car, you've helped really since like what, last week, or 2 weeks ago, right? That's when you started really working with it a little bit more. So that's why I didn't have to give her like step-by-step instructions on this one. But the bulk, that was your first time ever, kind of running through that, using a blade. What's your like take on it between bulk and our kit?
Well, this was like way simpler. Not having to like cut on it, and then like especially the stretch like over this part, I felt like that was really hard to like, especially like resetting it over and over, trying to get like the perfect amount of tension on all the corners. I feel like I probably would have been doing that for like another hour if you hadn't been like, oh, stretch it here, you know, and just like knowing all of that. This was really straightforward.
So tip number 1, if you are going to be doing PPF, get shorter nails.
No, wrong. Yeah. If I can do it, you can too.
We're going to put a link below to pretty much everything that we're doing. It'll be down here, so just click on it to get more information about our kits and really what we're working on. And if you have any questions, just leave us a comment below. We try to read everything and try to respond to everything. And you know, it would mean the world to us if you can subscribe, click on that red button and the bell. So I think we need to remove this thing because we need to do another install. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that, and we'll see you next time.